Alrighty. So our experiment with Jesus for this week's study is actually a creative expression, and that is not something that will easily be done together. So I am going to actually lead us in the practice from a couple weeks ago, which we have not done yet together because I messed up that Zoom meeting of contemplative prayer, which I do find is easier to be led through verbally than it is to read it and kind of lead yourself through it. So let me pull that up and we will get going. So, contemplative or centering prayer is a prayer practice that is focused on being rather than speaking or doing. And so, what I'm going to invite you to is just spend 10 minutes and I will lead you through just being and sitting with Jesus. This is a practice that it's taken me years. I actually hated it when I first did it and found that my mind, they call it like your monkey brain, just absolutely takes over and brings up actually it was a real learning experience for me what it is that my brain brings up of all the different things to think about and focus on rather than just sitting and being with Jesus. So if this is hard for you, I mean, it might be. I have friends who this is their absolute favorite way of praying, and prayer with words and asking God to do things is really problematic for them. But this is, so who knows? Maybe it'll be delightful for you. Maybe it'll be difficult. It has been an extremely life-giving practice for me in learning to quiet down my brain and focus and just be with Jesus and relax in his presence. So I hope that it is life-giving for you as well. So I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes. As distractions or thoughts come up, I just want you to gently release them and return to being with Jesus. Don't judge yourself. Don't get angry with yourself. Just let those things go and sink back down and enjoy being in God's presence. Your goal is not to empty your mind, but to focus your mind on being present in your body and in the presence of God with God. You might choose a breath prayer or truth from the past week to meditate on. I might, I think for me, as I do this with you, if I find myself distracted, I'm going to use the breath prayer from Friday a couple weeks ago. And I realized that I had repeated the same breath prayer from the Bleeding Woman story in the passage about come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden. And so I didn't get to use that breath prayer. So I'm going to use that today, which is I release all that is heavy. Teach me to live freely and lightly. So you'll hear that. And when that happens, you can use that as a reminder to come back. But you can also know that I needed that reminder as well. Some people just choose one word. But I like to use breath prayers. So I'm going to open us up with this book from Centering Prayer. This is actually my favorite from the Lenten season. My favorite prayer is from March 16th in this book. So I will open us up with that, and then I invite you to just sit in a comfortable position and be with Jesus. Think about when you ask Jesus into your heart. So you go into your heart where Jesus is and be there with him. Oh, here's our opening prayer. Spirit of God, the ashen mark upon my forehead, now washed clean, remains in my heart as a symbol of my emptiness and my need for you. Hungry, I can be fed. Empty, I can be filled. Barren, I can give birth. And what is feeding, filling, and birthing in me but the incarnation of love itself? This is the unyielding power of Jesus Christ birthing in me something new. There's our 10 minutes starting, and I will close us when we are done. I release all that is heavy. Jesus, teach me to live freely and lightly. Release all that is heavy. Teach me to live freely and lightly. Stay with your breath. Stay with Jesus. Mm. Amen. Amen. That is my first time. I have led groups in this in my prayer retreats. We do this together, but this is my first time to do it on camera, and I did experiment a little bit with having the camera off or on, and I think it would have been distracting to me either way. But it is worth the practice, and we will keep on practicing. I don't know if I'll keep on practicing on camera. We'll see. Bless you, friends. Bless you. Enjoy your week face to face with Jesus.